Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. An easy remedy for our sicknesses and ailments. Many a times we are suffering with some sickness, some ailments, some problem, and we look for the solution amongst the physicians, among the doctors, among the professionals. We ask them for solution, for cures, and they give us what they understand. But Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has given us a very easy remedy for sickness. In the hadith, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentions, protect your wealth by paying zakat, remedy your sick ones by giving sadaqah, and fortify yourselves against calamities by means of dua. So sadaqah, giving alms, giving charity to the poor, it is an efficacious method of treating sickness. On one occasion, a man came to Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahmatullahi alayhi and complained, I am suffering for 7 years with this wound on my knee. And he complained that I resorted to every kind of remedy, every treatment I have taken. I've consulted many physicians, but to no avail. As Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahmatullahi alayhi said, go and search for a place where people are experiencing hardship because of lack of water. Have a well dug for them. I have hopes that with the gushing of the water, your wound will be healed. The man obeyed. He arranged for the construction of a well. After a short while, he was completely healed. Another incident narrated by Imam Bayhaqi rahmatullahi alayhi, one of the senior muhaddith. Many narrations we hear from Imam Bayhaqi rahmatullahi alayhi. He says that his ustad, Imam Abu Abdullah Hakim's face became covered with pimples. Every remedy that was sought failed to cure him. And after an entire year in this condition, he went to Imam Abu Uthman rahmatullahi alayhi and requested, during your Jummah majlis, please supplicate and make dua for my cure. Imam Sabuni rahmatullahi alayhi that Friday made fervent dua, and those present, whilst he was making the dua aloud, those present recited Ameen. The next Jummah, a lady sent a letter to Imam Sabuni, Imam Abu Uthman Sabuni rahmatullahi alayhi, in which she had written, I too had made fervent dua at home that night for Imam Abdullah Hakim. That very night, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam appeared in my dream and said, tell Abu Abdullah Hakim to make water available in abundance to the people. Imam Bayhaqi rahmatullahi alayhi said that he delivered the letter to Imam Abu Abdullah Hakim. After reading the letter, he immediately arranged for the construction of a well to supply people with water. Even before a week had passed, his face began to heal. Very soon there remained not a single pimple nor any blemish on his face. He was completely cured. Another incident that took place in the Arab lands, one Arab lady, she had a female servant that worked for her from a foreign country. And this Arab lady was diagnosed with cancer. And this female that worked for her, she had been on leave for a bit of time and she returned. And when she came back, it so happened that this Arab lady at that time, she was diagnosed with cancer, and this female servant of hers used to go to the toilet and she spent quite an exorbitant amount of time in the toilet. So after some time, the owner of the house became upset that why do you take so long in the toilet? Are you ducking from your work? Don't you want to work nicely? So the servant explains his condition. She says that I had just given delivery to my child a few weeks back, and now I've returned because I'm desperate. I need the work. I need the money to feed my family. So my problem is that whenever after some time my breasts become full of milk and there's nothing to take it out, so I have to go to the toilet and I have to relieve myself by pressing and releasing the milk from my bosom. So this lady, she felt a lot of pity for this servant of hers. So she bought the ticket for that servant of hers and she gave her 2 years worth of pay. She said, this is your pay that I was going to give you monthly, but now I will give you all the entire pay for the next 2 years. You go look after your child, bring the child up to an extent that the child no longer needs to breastfeed from you. And once it's done, then you can contact me and let me know if you are interested in working, and I will take you back. So once that arrangement was made, she was given the money and she was sent home. The next time this lady had a checkup, she went to see what is the condition of her diagnosis, how far has the treatment worked, etc., to treat her illness of this cancer. And when they went for a checkup, they began to look for the cancer cells and they found nothing. So she checked by one lab, there was no trace of cancer left. She checked by another lab, there was no trace of cancer. She checked by a third lab just to make sure, and she checked that they found that there was absolutely no traces of cancer left in her body. So the reality dawned upon her that it was that sadaqah, that alms that she had given to this poor lady. This lady was struggling, this lady was suffering, this lady needed her support and assistance, and she assisted this lady. So by assisting her servant and looking after the poor and giving sadaqah to that extent, for 2 years worth of pay she had given this lady. Who would do such a thing in today's time? But that is the hadith of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that treat your ailments, treat your sickness through sadaqah. So this is an easy remedy for us. Try to give as much sadaqah as possible. A treatment might cost you 50,000. Trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and pay that 50,000 off as sadaqah. And we will see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us and cure us of our ailments. It should become our daily habit to try to give sadaqah. To such an extent, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that even a smile can be regarded as sadaqah. If a person does not have any wealth to give as sadaqah, then we can smile at people. We can advise people. That can also be sadaqah. We can do some good for the next person. We can carry the next person's load. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, on one occasion, there was one elderly lady, and this lady was struggling to carry her load to her house. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam quickly went up to her and asked her if he could assist. She was very happy. And that time she did not even know who Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was, but she heard people talking ill of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So she began to advise. She said, there's a madman by the name of Muhammad. Beware of him, stay far away from him. And she was talking and telling Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam all the evils that he had done in the society, etc. And when she reached home, she thought to ask, oh my nephew, what is your name? So there was no one by the name of Muhammad at the time besides Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam responded by saying, my name is Muhammad. When she heard this, immediately she says, you are definitely the true Nabi. I would like to accept Islam on your hands. And she accepts Islam on the hands of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So imagine even helping an elderly lady in that manner. That was sadaqah which Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam did. And the sadaqah was so accepted that this lady changed her life and she reverted into Islam. May Allah Ta'ala give us the opportunity of always doing sadaqah and always being a means of goodness for the people.